We will move on to a demo of IdentityNow and Azure. In IdentityNow, what I'm going to be showing is IdentityNow, as you know, is a SaaS platform service. So it will connect to the demo environment. In the demo environment, I have a HR system, and then I have an Active Directory. I will show onboarding of a new hire, will verify that the person is hired, will raise an access request, and then we'll perform a access review. And then I will show a single sign-on with one of the SaaS application using Azure single sign-on. I'll show my demo environment now. So these days we are all talking about space. So I'll take some of the former astronauts as my test users. So here is IdentityNow. This is our partner environment. And then this is the demo environment where I have a HR system. I'm going to hire a new employee. I'll take Antonelli Dominic. So we are hiring Antonelli into our organization now. So this is the employee ID. They are based out of San Jose. They are a benefits manager. They belong to finance department. Here is their mobile. And then this is their email. They are hired, so I'm going to set them as active employee, and they report to Carlos Perkins. And I have just hired them. So now to show the joiner process, which is the automated onboarding, I'm going to go to IdentityNow. So IdentityNow is integrated with HR system and also Active Directory. So I'm going to HR application in IdentityNow. And the aggregation data pull, it can be scheduled to run every 3 hours, every half hour, however the organization needs it. And here we are going to do an ad hoc data pull. So I kicked off a job to pull the latest records. I can see that the aggregation is running. Shortly, the aggregation should be complete. And here from the data, I can see that there is a new account. It changed to 192. I'm going to go into the identity list, and then I'm going to search Dominic. So I can see Dominic Antonelli identity is created in IdentityNow. And according to the policy that is set up, we can see that Active Directory is created. And to see more information in the Active Directory, this is according to the way it is set up. This person is created in OU San Jose, OU Americas. And then this is the email of the person. And we can have transformations and different logic to set additional attributes. Here we can see this is the phone number. And towards the end, we can see these are the entitlements. So according to the joiner policy, this person has got corporate VPN. This person is part of all users. This person is part of employment group. So here we just showcased a joiner use case. Now I'll go to show the access request. Let us say there is more responsibility or new additional responsibility for the person, and he needs access to accounts payable group. So this is the access request screen of IdentityNow. And then here we have a role set up to do accounts payable group. So the name of the role is accounts payable analyst. So I'm going to request. And if you look at here, I'm logged in as myself. So I'm going to request, and I'll say I'm requesting for Dominic. And I would say new responsibility. And we can also, the system does allow to set expiration date if we want to give access for like a month or so. But here I'm not choosing anything. I'm just going to go ahead and submit the request. So I can see the request is submitted. I will give a minute for system to process it. I can see here is the request, and we can see the request detail that it is submitted. If there is any SOD check, it did perform. We don't have any SOD check. We don't have any approvals configured here. So it directly went to provisioning, and shortly it should be done provisioning. So we can see that the status is approved, request is completed. So now I'll go back to the identity list, which is part of the administration screen. So what we are seeing is really admin screen. End users would not see so much. End users, it's only request center, certifications, and then if they have any task they need to act on. So in the administration screen, I'm going to go to identity list. I'll search for Dominic. So we see Dominic here. We are going back to accounts, and we see Active Directory. And then now if we go to entitlements, we can see that the person has new entitlements like accounting general, accounts payable. These came through a role access request. So if I go back to the identity, I go to what roles this person has. So we can see that he has accounts payable analyst. So we just showcased an access request, and then we showed provisioning of a entitlement, Active Directory entitlements to the person. And now the other use case that I'm going to showcase is the certification. So basically, this is one of the SOX regulation. Organizations require quarterly certification, maybe certification when somebody transfers from one position to other position, or one city to other city, or any changes. There are certifications, and then there are like monthly certifications. There are yearly certifications. So here I will showcase one of the certification where we can try to, the managers will see all the Active Directory entitlements. David touched one of the main issue that we see is over the years, people just get more and more access. And if there is no formal certification or no process, they will just become big security risk to the organization. So in IdentityNow, there is a filter created here. So basically, my filter will say, give me all the entitlements from Active Directory. So I'm going to use this filter to build a certification. So this will take a few moments, but yeah, we'll see it pretty fast. So I'm going to say I will do manager campaign. So basically, all the managers need to certify. I will name it manager AD entitlement certification. And then the system will let choose options, what kind of, if we want to keep the access, if no one acts on it, if we want to remove the access. So just for the demo sake, I'm going to keep it. And then should notifications be sent? And then what is the deadline? So it is 2 weeks from now. Corporate AD entitlements. So I'm setting up the certification now. So it'll take a minute. It has to go through all the users who has Active Directory. It has to go through all the entitlements of all the users, and then it has to build a certification and then assign all the access reviews to each of the manager. So it is still doing it. So I'm going to start the campaign. So it is trying to activate it. As soon as in the process of activating, when it is active, it will notify all the managers. Hey, there are some direct reports who report to you, who have Active Directory access. Review their access. So I will show one of the certification, and then we can move on to the next part of the presentation. So here we can see that all these managers, so we are seeing all the managers, all these managers have got the certifications assigned. We have been working with Carlos Perkins, so I'm not Carlos, but for the demo sake, I'm going to reassign from Carlos to myself. I'll just do demo. So it is going to reassign the access review to me. And then now I'm going to, so this is admin screen, I'm going to end user screen. On the end user screen, we can see all these tiles, like for self-service and then any task that I'm responsible for. So here we can see certifications. And then here is a manager certification that is reassigned from Carlos Perkins. So if I see that, we can see Anderson Clayton, he has employees directory. Do we want to approve? Do we want to reject? Or do we want to like put any comments, or you want to select the revocation date? So this is the access review. So we just completed the demo of an access review. Now we'll go back to the presentation. So after IdentityNow, I had a demo of Azure, Azure single sign-on. So for that, we are showing, I'm going to show an example of Agile Azure Active Directory. We use it for single sign-on. So Certify is an application, it's a SaaS-based application, and we use for the expense system. So this is the Azure Active Directory, and then if we go in here, enterprise applications. So this is one of the SaaS application. It is configured here. If we go to single sign-on, we can see that so it works with SAML single sign-on. So Azure is the identity provider, and then Certify the service. So we have set up with all the attributes that are identifying the SAML signing certificate is imported on the Certify, and then the Certify is set up for single sign-on. And some of the additional things that Azure single sign-on offers is, if we look here, we're saying multi-factor authentication required, and then there is no legacy authentication on Certify. So if somebody is going to Certify, they have to go through Azure single sign-on. I will quickly show how I'm logging in. So if we look at this application setup, we have all the single sign-on configured, and then here, this is the user access URL. So I'm going to copy this user access URL, and I'm going to incognito window. So I'm going to log on as myself. So Azure single sign-on let me in. So now it's going to take me to certify. So now I'm logged into certify as myself. Thank you. So this completes the demo.